Okay, so here we're just taking a look at the final product basically, and this would be an example of a catalog of events, and we've customized this catalog quite a bit. At the top here we put in a big banner up top, and then some hard-coded links to some of our webinars and previous recorded sessions that we've had. And then down below this bar is where all the webinars that we're creating or all the events that we've set up are. And so I've got 3 different events set up here in the system, and users can come to this landing page or this catalog, and they can go ahead and register for a particular event, and that'll take them to the registration page. If they want to look at more details on it, they can look at the event details. They could have gone there directly as well, and this shows more details about it, or they can look at the speaker details. This is just kind of the standard templates that we have set up for that. And then if they want to go back to the original event catalog, that's an option on each of these events that you can take them back to the original catalog itself right there. It also includes a date view where you can click on this and take a look at this over showing a catalog of time, and so there's those events, and you roll over them and you get the full details about that event. You can even download the calendar. So let's make an event though. That's probably the most important part. So I'll go in here and I go to event management, and I'm going to go ahead and I'll keep it in my user folder. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new event, and I'll quickly go through this. Basically you pick a template. I created a bunch of templates based on the basic templates that we had, so we could have 2 speakers rather than 1 in the system. But I'm just going to go ahead and make this one based on one of the standard default templates. So default template shared. It's the shared area, and it's a default template that I'm going to choose. So and I'll go ahead and type over here. Adobe Connect and Adobe Connect. I probably can't do that. Adobe Connect. CAC. We'll just go with that. And so there's some description about the event, and then there's some more description about the event. More detailed, let's say. And do I want to allow the users to register without a password? Sure. Let's make it easy for them. Is it going to be a live session in a meeting room or our seminar room? Yeah, that's what it's going to be. So I'll leave that chosen. It could also be an on-demand piece of content. Do I want it to show in the catalog? Yeah, for now I will. I'll show it in that catalog that we just had there. And then if someone registers right at the last minute, do I want them to be able to come right in? And no problem. We'll allow that to happen. And then when do I want my event to happen? So let's go back to November here again. And put this in. We'll put it in November, maybe 1st or 2nd, something like that. and we'll add more to the catalog for that then. And then I'll just leave that time. And right now this is based on Eastern time. Do I want to have a registration limit? I can, limit the number of people who can register for the event if I want to, and say I want to only allow, 50 people to register. And then all that artwork that you saw on the catalog and whatever, that's where these things come in. And it just shows you right here the size that it wants it to be. So I'll go ahead and choose an event logo. How quickly am I going to be able to do that? Pictures, Adobe, event images. Why not? We'll go here. So do I have... I wish I had something a little bit easier. DOD. Alright, I'm going to end up cutting this all out, aren't I? So I'll choose the logo here, and then I can have alternate text here too. And then I'll choose the small banner. And so there's a small banner. I want something with actual content in it. There it is. And if I roll over and wait, it tells me the dimensions of the object. So it's almost 500 by 231, and if I look down here, I wanted something about 560 by 230. So it tells me what size it should be, and then when I go to choose the file, it actually, when I roll over and wait, it'll tell me the size that I have. So this is 709 by 306, and they went 740 by 300. That's pretty close. I should edit it down to make it fit exactly, but that's going to work just fine. And then the speaker name, I can put in myself, and details about me. I'm just going to put what I have in the clipboard there for now, and I can choose the speaker image. And so I've got these nice headshots, and somewhere down here I have the picture of me that's perfectly sized. So there's my picture. It's 300 by 400 JPEG, and $2.99 by $3.97. And if you look at the sizing down here, they want 300 by 400, so that's perfect. We'll choose that file. So I try to help you out along the way. And we won't worry about this. And I'm going to make it a featured event right now, and I'll say it's going to be a webinar. And we'll continue on. So that does the basics of setting up the webinar. Then I got to choose the room. I would need to have created the room or the seminar room ahead of time. And so I'll choose the task force operations room right now. And so that's the room it's going to point everybody to and take it to. And then by default it needs the name and email address. And it's not requiring a password because I chose not to require a password there. But I can say I want to know your title and I want to know your company name. And I could change that to organization name or something fitting more for your business or organization. And then there's the registration questions that I chose. I added on title and company name. And I can make those mandatory with the star here. Let's say that title is mandatory. I'll choose that and say response is required. Simple as that. And I can add multiple choice and short answer questions right in here into this whole process. So let's see here. Multiple choice. What region are you in? And Konos, and add below, and OC. I think I may have misspelled that, and then I'll make that required. And just something simple like that. You can add in as many questions as you want. Of course, you want them to continue through the registration process, so don't add too many. You can add your users in here if you want to, and then we'll email out the registration to them. And it's a simple CSV file list that you can bring in. Just an email address is all you really need, and or you can add users that are from your entire system. I'm going to skip that for now, but we'll send out emails to everybody and the whole bit, which is really nice if you want us to. You don't have to. You can just have a URL put somewhere, and then people can click that URL and register into the system. And then if you have us sending invitations, you would leave this checked and we'll send out the invitations, and all these can be customized here. If it requires approval and you need to approve people, then you want to keep this approval email in there. Otherwise you don't need that. And then you can get rid of the notify users when they're denied. You want to keep this one because when they get the invitation to be invited to it, then you'll send them that they've been they've been invited, and this gives them the URL to get into the room. That's important. And then you can have a reminder when updates need to be sent, and then remind them like 24 hours beforehand if you want, and such. And you can even send them a thank you and a sorry you missed it kind of email if you want to. But you can make this as many or as simple as you want it to be. And then when you get them set up how you want to, you can send yourself a test email, and whoever you're logged in as, right now it's me, it says the Adobe Learning Team, but that's my email address. The emails will all come out to me, and I'll get to take a look at them. We'll come back to editing emails in a little bit here. I'll just finish this flow here first. And okay, so then you can worry about campaign tracking, or you can choose not to. We can talk about that another time. And then the event is created. It's as simple as that. It's not been published yet, because the idea here is you might need to load up maybe 5,000 email addresses if this was a big campaign that you're sending out to, if you're a commercial organization, thousands of people to get them to come and register for this event. You'd load all the participants in first, and then when you were ready, then you would hit the publish button, and then it would send out all these emails. again, it doesn't have to send out emails. You can just put these URLs anywhere that you want people to link to go to them. So then when I am ready, though, I can hit the publish button. It then asks me, are you sure? And I hit publish, and now the event is set up and set out there. And if I go back and take a look at the catalog now, and I'll go back to list view, and I'll refresh it. Now I have this Adobe Connect event right here, and there's that logo I put in there. It's bigger than what it, so it's towering over the other ones. And if I go to the event details, we'll see the art that I put in there for that one. And there's my speaker details that I put in. And I can look at the speaker info and such. And this one doesn't have the take me back to the catalog because I didn't add that to that template. I didn't modify that template to have that. So the users would not be able to go back to the catalog without spacing into it. So, all right, what did I click on there? Okay, so editing all these items, it's really straightforward. Let's go to the landing page first to begin with. So you saw that landing page that I used. Well, I can go ahead and edit that landing page just by clicking the edit button. It's all done inside of the browser. And okay, so here's what that template looks like with just kind of placeholders in it. And with a big banner and then the detailed event information that we saw. Let's go to it here. And we'll go to event details. We'll go back and forth. So that's what it looks like with your content in it, or my content. And here's what the template looks like. So there's the large event banner. There's the banner. Detailed event information. Okay, that's that detailed event information right there. The register now button is right there, and there's that register now button, and then the speaker information and so on. So you get the idea. Well, all this can be modified. You can bring in, there's Adobe Connect content here that you can say event name, event logo, event time, and so on. Brief speaker overview and so on. And so all these things can just be dragged in. So let's go show you an example of that. I'll bring in the event banner large in here, and I'll just drag it down below here, and now we have that large event banner down at the bottom. And let's say I want to add a let's say a divider line, a horizontal line. I can drag that right in here between the two, and now I've got the horizontal line. And maybe I want to have a isn't there a, thought there was, columns. You can add columns into the whole system. Thought there was a spacer. Oh yeah, horizontal separator. So we'll put that right below the horizontal line, and now we've got a space, the line, and then another space, and then the banner. So it's just drag and drop, real straightforward. And then when you get it how you want it to be, you just go over here and you activate the template. And what I really should have done is I should have duplicated this template and then made these changes to it rather than work on the actual template itself. And you can click create a copy, and I'll show you another view here to get to some of that stuff as well. So real easy to modify it. And then here is the banner of event info, speaker info, event registration. And if you right click in here, you're just clicking here. How does that work? Right click on that, edit it. Now you can go to page menu options and event catalog. The event catalog link taking you back to the catalog right now is turned off. So show in menu bar is off there. So I can turn that on, and now they'll have a link to take them back to the catalog. Okay, so how do I make a copy of a template? Well, that's really straightforward. Once you go into the editing mode here, you can navigate to the shared templates, and you'll see them all. And so this default template right here that I was working on, I could go over here and duplicate create a copy of it and then rename it, and then work on that. And that would be a really highly recommended thing to do. So so now if I go to the email templates, you have the same thing going here. And so event invitation right there. And so maybe I will create a copy of that one. Event copy. I'll just call it copy right now, and we'll hit a copy of that one. It's going to automatically take me into editing it, and it's the same kind of tool set here. Now this is different. It's going to be the email that gets sent out to the users. So let's take a look at what the emails look like. I thought I'd sent those all to myself. I guess I didn't. That's too bad. Okay, but basically you've got the same things. You've got an image, and this was the horizontal or the small banner that we put in there before, and here's the speaker image that we put in. If I wanted to bring in just my own image into it, I could just say I want to bring in an image here, and I would put it up top here, and I double click it, and you just drag an image to upload it into the system. It's really cool how that all works out. And anyway, I won't take the, it's going to drag that in there for me. How nice. And so headshots, and we'll go to that, and I don't know how, whatever, we'll just drag. Should really pick, yeah, we'll do the black and white one. Drag it in there, and that's it. And I can then say how I want it laid out here with the advanced tools and things like that, and then click OK, and now that image is in there, and it's huge. So, and we'll just go ahead and delete that. So you don't want to choose a huge image. And it's real straightforward. So there's a bunch of runtime fields in here as well. So when I double click here, I can type in the word event. That'll go into the email. And then within the curly braces event name, that's going to be the name of the event that you put into our system when you were setting it up. And you can go ahead and choose any of these variables and put it in there. So like there is event name right there. And when you choose that and hit insert, it just puts that in for you. You could type them in too if you start to learn them. There you go. Pretty straightforward. And all of this is done in the browser, so you don't have to install any tools into your computer. And I'll stop there in the same thing. You get to here, and then you would say activate template, and now this new email template will be what is used every time you choose that template for those emails. And let's go back and show you how you choose them. So there's the event, there's the editing of that. So now I'm back here at my event that we created a few minutes ago, and I want to take a look at my email options. So I thought I'd change these, but we'll go back here. We'll notify them when they're approved. We'll send them a reminder closer to the event, and we'll save that. Okay, I go back to email options. Is that going to save it for me? There, perfect. All right, now I'm going to send a test email to myself, and hopefully that worked out. Perfect. And let's say I want to go in and change this to my event invitation copy that I put in here. And where do we find that? Okay, well, we'll just go with it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and customize. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and customize this one. And basically it just takes me to that same editor. And I take a look at it here. And here's the machinery that is going to about when it's going to be sent out. So it's, it'll send this email on a specific date and time or relative to the event and so on, and you can change the subject line. This is going to be, you're invited to this, and what template you're going to use the shared event invitation template, and so on. And here's all these things. This is actually your Outlook calendar ICS file that's going to be included with it. And you can edit what's inside that ICS file if you want to. And if you don't want to send that out there, then you can just turn that off, and now that won't be included with the email that goes out. Sometimes it gets stripped off anyway. And then here's what it's going to look like when you send that invitation out to people. And if you want to change that, you just go ahead and edit the template, and it takes you right into the email editing template machinery of the system. A lot of stuff to take a look at. What were some of the other questions that you had? Edit the emails, provide a link, lock it down. Okay. So if you don't want to have the system send out emails, no problem. You can send people just this, or put this URL out on other systems and just say click this link to register for the event, and that'll take you just to that one landing page, not to the catalog. You can also give them a link to the catalog anywhere you want, and then they can look at all the events that you might have available. You can send them to the event. Oh, no, you don't want to send them to the login page. You'd want to send them to the event landing page, or if you didn't think they needed to learn more about it, you told them about it already, then just send them directly to the registration page right here. And you can put this link anywhere you want, and they'll just come to it. No login required to get to there. Okay, I hope this was interesting and useful, and I'll stop here. Let me know if you have any other questions.